So you're thinking about moving to Alexandria, Virginia, and you're not sure which neighborhood might be the best for you. Well, today we're going to cover 5 popular neighborhoods. We're going to show you inside of them as well as recently closed properties so that you can see what may or may not work for you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is James Reed and I'm a luxury real estate agent with TTR Sotheby's International Realty, serving Northern Virginia, DC, as well as the suburbs of Maryland. If you have any questions about the neighborhoods or the properties, feel free to put those in the comments below. If you have interest in reaching out to me directly, you can get that information in the description box below. So let's get to it. The first neighborhood we're going to go through today is Old Town Alexandria, which is easily the most famous neighborhood in all of Alexandria. It's probably the one that you've seen on TV if you've ever seen anything related to Alexandria. You've got the ability to go have a drink at the same bar that George Washington used to hang out. You can go up and down King Street, which is a mile-long stretch full of nothing but restaurants and shops. You've got the ability to go to the Torpedo Factory, meet with dozens of different artists, speak with them directly about what they're working on, support them by buying their artwork. There's just a lot to do in Old Town Alexandria. There's a mix of condos and townhouses and row houses, some historic, some are not historic. In here, the price ranges are usually between about, say, $500,000 all the way up to $3 million currently for properties in Old Town, but there's a variety of mixes in there. You've got luxury new condos that are being put in. You've got older properties that you can renovate. There's just quite a mix in there for you. All right, guys, this is an example of a recent transaction in Old Town. The property behind me was built in 1820. It wasn't completely updated, but it did close at right at $1 million. It was listed at $1,050,000, so it got a price reduction. It's on the market for 32 days. But why did it go for $1 million even if it wasn't completely updated? Well, you are a block off of King Street where all the restaurants and shops are at. You are in the middle of everything in Old Town. So you've got restaurants, shops, parks, everything super close by, all within walking distance. You don't have to go anywhere to do anything, or you don't have to try hard to go anywhere to do whatever you want, as you can see. So this is nestled in the center of Old Town. That's why it went for $1 million. There are properties here that go above that, well above that. If this was fully updated on the interior, I suspect it would have gone for significantly more. With the current rates and the condition of the property, getting $1 million is not bad at all. All right, we are in Potomac Yards here. Most of this was built in the last 10 years, just like the property behind me. It was built in 2012. This one went for $850,000. It was listed at $835,000. It closed inside of 4 days, so I would expect multiple offers from that. It's newer, so you're gonna have smart home features and the like. This neighborhood, this was actually off the busy exterior road. The rest of it's actually quite quiet on the inside, but you've got parks and playgrounds close by, as well as a pretty large shopping center with a Target and grocery stores and all those things. You've got a few restaurants as well. You are not in Old Town, you're just above Old Town at Potomac Yards, and you are actually right under where Arlington starts at 4 Mile Run, where Amazon HQ2 is. You're right next to the airport. So this neighborhood has a lot of advantages in terms of being close to a lot of things, but not necessarily at the price point of Old Town. For pricing in this neighborhood, I would expect usually you're seeing anywhere between $500,000 all the way up to $1.6 for the fully decked out townhouses, but $500,000-ish for condos and going up from there. So still competitive, but certainly within a lot of people's price points for here. All right, here we are in Delray, which is part of Potomac West. This Victorian property behind me was built in 1925 and it only lasted on the market for 6 days. It was listed at $899 and went for $905, so I suspect multiple offers as well. This one was very well updated on the interior, and as you can see in this street, there are other duplexes and older inventory houses. There are some detached houses, like the blue one over here. It's just a little bit different in Delray. It's very dense here. as you can see, but it's not quite like Old Town. There are a number of shops and restaurants. It's probably the closest thing to Old Town you're going to find in Alexandria for amenities, but it's not quite the same. So the price point is a little less, not a lot less, but a little less. But you can get a little bit more space here than you would in Old Town. Certainly a price, or certainly a property like this, you're not going to get for under $1 million in Old Town, as you can in Delray. All right, guys, we are in Rosemont, a predominantly detached neighborhood. The property behind me was built in 1939 and ended up closing at $1.2 million. It was originally listed at $1.325 after being on the market for 42 days. You know, I think it was probably a victim to some of the rate hikes and just loss of appetite for some of the properties. But it is very conveniently located, as you can see here, to Old Town. Well, you can't see it in this, but you can walk to King Street Metro, you can walk to the VRE, you can walk to Amtrak. There's a number of amenities that are very close by. So the neighborhood itself is still highly desirable, even though that this one was pushing the upper end of it. But you can see that there's just really large detached single family properties here. Not a ton of space in the street for parking, but you do have garages and driveways here, which you don't necessarily get in Old Town. You can get those in Delray and certainly in Potomac Yards. All right, guys, we're in Eisenhower West, Eisenhower East. They're both west of Old Town, getting closer to 395. This area was new construction in 2020. It was development by Toll Brothers. They did this whole neighborhood of, well, this enclave, I should say, of townhouses. The one behind me was on the market for 12 days, was listed at $1 million, close to $1 million. They didn't really have any concessions. There have been a couple others, resales on here since then that were priced above this, and they sat for a bit and had some concessions, including closing assistance and the like, just to do interest rates and other buyer appetites being lower. So now, in terms of walkability, you know, this neighborhood compared to the other ones isn't nearly as walkable. You're gonna need public transportation or a car to get to the grocery store. You can walk, but I just don't see too many people doing it in this neighborhood. All right, guys, thanks for sticking with me to the end here, even on days like today when it rains on me. I really appreciate it. Now, if you have any thoughts or comments, or you thought if there's anything else you want to discuss in regards to the neighborhoods below or neighborhoods we went over today, or if there's any other neighborhoods in Alexandria you want me to cover, please put them in the comments below. And if you're looking for properties in any of these areas and you want to reach out to me, you can get my contact information in the description box below. As always, like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications so that you can be the first to know about the current market in DC. And until next time, I hope to see you in the next video.